What is going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of We Lift Big. And it has been a bit of a crazy past 2 weeks for me. To be honest, I feel like my overall energy has just been a little bit of a roller coaster. Some days I feel amazing, I feel blessed. That is most days. And some days I just feel like I'm doing my very best to smile and have a sense of stability. And that's just where I'm at. And honestly, every day is a blessing. But wherever you are today, I want to share with you one of the tools that has helped me grow mentally the most through the craziness that has been 2020. And that is keeping a morning journal, which I have talked about, and I've spoken about my morning routine before. I've mentioned it in past podcasts. And so I apologize if it's starting to get a little bit repetitive, but I'm also not sorry, and I don't apologize because I think that it, at least in my experience, it has been one of the most transformative things that I have done in these past few months, just to really grow mentally, to have more emotional intelligence, to understand myself better. And because it's been such an awesome thing in my life, I want to talk all about it. So that's what we are going to do. One thing that I want to bring up is Jay Shetty. If you do not listen to his podcast On Purpose, which I've also spoken about before, what are you doing? You gotta listen. He's really awesome. But he spoke about tools for losing mental weight in one of his recent podcasts, and it is part of what inspired this episode. Because as a personal trainer myself, I feel that one of the largest lessons you learn training people is that there is always a mental element that needs to be addressed. Always. Before the physical element of actual training and healthy practice even starts, the mental resolution of I need to do this, and or I want to do this, and I'm going to do this no matter what, has to happen before you actually begin. I really do believe that there has to be some sort of action. I have decided to take action, and therefore action is happening. And I feel that just as much as we are justly concerned about how we are going to be keeping our bodies in shape throughout quarantine and, again, the craziness and heaviness really of 2020, we also need to consider how we are keeping our minds in shape. And I feel that our minds have been really tested this year by the people around us, whether you're living with people or not, the people we miss. And so in my case, living alone has definitely had its ups and downs this year, as we are not able to see people the way that we would normally see them. The circumstances around us, feeling like we're stuck and just trying to really do the best we can. I feel like that's a place where a lot of people are at, is we are all just trying to do the best we can, and it's exhausting. It is truly exhausting, mentally, physically, spiritually, just on so many levels. And so again, take a deep breath with me. Exhale. Grab the nearest pen or paper or phone. Unless you're driving, then make sure that you save this episode to your listen later queue, and all the other episodes you have in there, because we can, and because you are going to want to take notes for this. At least I want you to take notes. Whether you want to take notes is up to you, but I want you to, just so you know. Back to the morning journaling. So I was first introduced to morning journaling when I read The Compound Effect by David Hardy. A really amazing book. Is one of my recommendations for a really good read if you are looking to build momentum in your life and create change. But he actually shares his morning routine in his book, and it includes some morning journaling and some morning mental journaling. And I think the second place that I heard about morning journaling, because sometimes you don't always take action the first time. Sometimes a lot of people got to tell you something in order for you to be like, oh yeah, I should look into this. Like, this must be a sign from the universe that I should look into this. But the second time it came up for me was Robin Sharma's The 5 a.m. Club, which is another really awesome read. And he was being interviewed, I forget by whom. It was probably another Jay Shetty podcast, to be honest. And anyhow, the 5 a.m. Club introduces the concept of the 20-20-20 rule, which breaks down into 20 minutes of exercise, 20 minutes of journaling, and 20 minutes of some form of education, learning, growing. And so the idea is that from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m., at least this is my understanding, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, you wake up at 5. The first 20 minutes of your day, you do some sort of movement, whether it's yoga, whether it's cardio, whatever, strength training, whatever you do, push-ups, and you do that for 20 minutes, and then you follow that by 20 minutes of self-reflection, in this case journaling, and 20 minutes of education. So whether maybe you're learning Spanish, maybe you're learning piano, and that is your time to hone in on a skill, to just create more knowledge, become a smarter, faster, better version of yourself. And so in hearing about this, I decided that I was going to modify it slightly and do a 10-10-10 rule. Basically, instead of doing 20 minutes of everything, I decided to do 10 minutes of everything. And so it would add up to 30 minutes of just overall growth in my life. And eventually I would love to work my way up to 20 minutes. I just felt like 10 for each thing was a really great place to start. And so just implementing this in my life, the 10-10-10, it took me about 3 months. But now consistently 9 mornings out of 10, I complete a journaling ritual. I complete 10 minutes of yoga, and I listen to about 15 to 20 minutes of something educational every morning as I'm prepping for my day. Which recently has been a lot of Blinks. If you have not heard of the app Blinkist, now you know. It basically condenses nonfiction books into 15-minute summaries, and it's really, really great if you have a bunch of books on your list that you want to read and you're not sure which one you want to tackle first. And also just discovering books that I didn't even know existed. My toolbox of books has just been exploding since I started using the app Blinkist, and so it's awesome. Not a sponsor, but maybe someday. Maybe someday I will be sponsored by Blinkist. That would be amazing. And Kodiak cakes. Anyways, back to the journaling. And so I want to focus on the journaling element in particular. And again, I know I've spoken about my morning routine a lot. And I just want to focus today on the journaling element because, again, my focus for today's podcast is to be on things that have been helping me mentally through all of this. Like, in addition to the physical, it's like the physical, like I've been consistently training, I've been finding ways to modify my routines, and I don't feel like there is as much emphasis in general when it comes to mental fitness. And so in addition to being someone who trains bodies on a regular basis, like I am just as passionate, if not more passionate, about training people's minds. Like that to me is almost more important than training the body. You train the mind, the body will follow. And so that's why, again, I'm talking about it. I'm breaking it down. I'm repeating myself. Just talking about it because it means a lot to me. So in talking about journaling, there's so many ways that someone can keep a journal. It could be a free journal where there's not really any rules or anything that you follow. You just honestly write your thoughts down. There's no specific structure, and that's a way to do it. I prefer to have a little bit more structure in my journaling because for me, the purpose of my morning journaling is about setting myself up for my day. And so if I can set an intention for myself on how I want to handle whatever the day throws at me, then I have found that I derive more meaning out of my day, and I'm able to handle things with a more clear mind throughout my day, no matter what I'm doing. If I complete these morning journals, there's always a sense of accomplishment and feeling that I've given myself a mentality or energy to strive for throughout my day. And so remember that pen and paper earlier. If you got it now, now's the time to start writing, because every morning, these are the statements that I complete. I was about to call them questions. I used to write them out as questions, but now I write them out as statements. And so write these down if you want to do this yourself, which I think you should. Today, I send love to. This can be anybody you have ever met, anybody you have ever known in your life. An example is my mom. Today, I send love to my mom. I think she's beautiful inside and out, as an example. Number 2, today I focus on what is an intention that you want to set for yourself today. Some examples are good posture, being present. Number 3, today I let go of. This one's important. What is a chain from your past that you want to break? And this can be huge, this can be small. It's really whatever you're feeling that day. Like if I wake up and I'm feeling insecure about something, or I feel like I've been procrastinating, or I had a dream that triggered me and I don't want to bring it into the rest of my day, then that's what I want to let go of. Today I let go of triggers. Today I let go of insecurity, that sort of thing. And the last thing is today I am thankful for. Because there is always room to have more gratitude in our day. What do you want to give gratitude to? Comfortable shoes, morning coffee, friends, family. It can be anything. The more specific that you can make these, honestly, the better, because it's part of the honing in process. It's part of the clarity process, which we've talked about on this podcast. Since I've gotten into the habit of writing in the morning, I feel like it has just allowed me to lay down this foundation for myself that no matter what my day brings, I have this certain layer of security that I feel like I cannot fall under, no matter how upside down my day, week, even month is going. I can get frustrated or feel distracted about something, and then I remember, oh yeah, today I'm focusing on being present. And so I'm going to do that right now. Like, that's a perfect example. And so knock on wood, nothing in a day is going right. I wake up on the wrong side of the bed, and it's just been a tough series of events. And on a usual day where I would not set an intention, I just kind of feel like I'm being tossed in a salad bowl. And but if I set a morning intention of today, I'm just going to see the good in everything, or I'm going to be present, or I'm going to just have good energy. Like, I'm going to make my own energy today. I'm going to smile the whole day. Whatever that thing is, you've just laid out a ground rule for the day of no matter what happens, I'm going to find a reason to smile. I'm going to find a reason to just sit and listen. I'm going to find a reason to push through, a reason to make the most of my circumstances. And if you're having an incredible day and you're focusing on being present, then you're allowing yourself to be present in that moment. Like, maybe you would usually just kind of blow it off because, like, okay, well, I gotta focus on all these other things, or I just gotta move on to the next thing. I can't give myself too much credit. It's like, no, you made the intention today to be present. Like, enjoy this moment. You worked for it. You deserve it. You are loving your life right now. Like, be present. Have that intention. Whatever your intention is. In the good and the bad. It's not just for the bad. Like, this is for the good too. Like, we can always get a little bit better at enjoying the good times and just being there more often, especially if you're someone who it's so easy to jump from task to task to task. Like, we could always get better at handling the good situations as much as the bad situations. And so again, I feel like since I've started these morning journals, I give myself a little more security in my day to be like, okay, anything can happen and I'm ready because I've decided how I want to start this day and how I want to live this day out, and just be thankful for it all. To wrap all of this up, we need to be able to be present to ourselves now more than ever. And if being alone in quarantine has taught me anything, I need to be able to be with myself, enjoy my own company, believe in my own abilities. And this journaling, this morning routine has really gotten me to a place where I can finally believe that. It's not just that I can, it's that I actually am. And I think that's really cool. So thank you so much for listening to today's podcast. I love you guys so much, and I'll talk to you in a few days. We're gonna go ahead and answer some questions. And so I will see you then. Peace.